How often do we catch ourselves talking about someone else? Gossip is a casual conversation about other people which can be positive, neutral, or negative in nature. A study found that the average person spends almost an hour per day gossiping. These conversations are detrimental to the workplace though. It's unproductive and wastes time, and it causes a lack of trust among your coworkers. But it's even worse at healthcare practices. Employee gossip is one of the most common causes of a HIPAA violation. The reason that gossip is so common is that it happens so naturally to us. It's easy to fill conversations with stories of other people, and it's hard to catch ourselves doing it or recognize what qualifies as oversharing. Hi everyone, I'm Matt from Tactics, and today I'm going to share kinds of gossiping that lead to HIPAA violation. Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button below. While you're down there, hit that alert bell icon next to it as well, so when we post new helpful content, you get notified. While gossiping should always be off limits, employees should especially avoid it in common areas. Medical facilities have so many areas where someone else might be right around the corner. Even if you have authorization to talk about a patient with another coworker or the family, you should still do this in a private space. If someone overhears you talking about another patient, they'll lose trust in your practice for not being careful with the sensitive details of your clients. Sharing stories outside of work is also unacceptable. You might think it's safe because no one from work can overhear and your family or friends won't even see the person that you're talking about. But even then, you shouldn't share these stories. You never know who someone else might tell the story you're talking about or who they might know. Social media might seem like a form of gossip, but it is in some cases. Talking about patients online is just as bad, if not worse, as talking about them in person. You have way less control over where the information goes once it's online. Anyone can screenshot, save, or send anything to another person who wouldn't normally see your posts. Even if you realize you made a mistake and deleted your post, there's no way to know who it already reached. And as the saying goes, once it's on the internet, it's there forever. And it has the potential to become so much more widespread if you post gossip on the internet. Now, sometimes patients or employees will specifically ask you about another patient. This is a difficult situation to deal with. We might feel rude to point out that it isn't their business, and it's hard to know on the spot if the coworker has authorization or if they're just being nosy. It would be awkward to look like you don't trust them since you have to see each other all the time at work. And patients who ask about others might be genuinely concerned or looking for hope from their own experiences. Whether it's with patients or with other coworkers, most employees feel uncomfortable having these conversations. But the problem is that they don't know how to respond. You can imagine feeling flustered or overwhelmed to speak up on the spot if you aren't allowed to talk about it with them. In order to avoid these awkward and dangerous situations, practices need to cover this section within its annual HIPAA training sessions. Finally, people will try prompting you to gossip about a patient because they claim that they're family. Okay, let's say that they are actually related to the person or patient that they're talking about. This doesn't automatically make them authorized to know the patient's health information. Sometimes it's with the best intentions, but other times it's just out of curiosity. Thankfully, the HIPAA privacy rule outlines what's permissible to share and who to share it with. This safeguard within this law guides all health employees on withholding or giving details to a family member or a friend. Even though your conversations about someone else might not be negative or malicious, they can still be harmful, especially within healthcare. Gossiping damages trust between people and makes for uncomfortable situations overall. Most people aren't okay with talking about others, but it's hard for them to voice that. Even worse, there can be legal consequences as well. Maybe you missed this lesson from your practice's HIPAA training, but talking about patients without a purpose or to an unauthorized person is never okay. If you'd like to learn more about how gossiping causes HIPAA violations, reach out to eTactics. And you already made it this far into the video, so you might as well like it, share it, and comment below. Well, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to our YouTube channel.